Parmar. Welcome back to the video lecture series of Digital Fundamental. Today we will discuss error detecting and correcting code. So let's start with error detecting code. This error detecting code is a code, okay? This error detecting code is a code technique in which we can detect if any error occurred, okay? Our binary information, our binary bits, our binary information is transmitted from source to receiver, okay? Our informations are transmitted from one place to another place through wired media or through wireless, okay? This binary information is transmitted through any media, either wire or wireless. So this, it may possible that our information may get corrupted, okay? Whenever our information is transmitted, it may possible that our bits may got corrupted. That means our informations are changed either from 0 to 1 or from 1 to 0, okay? So we have an error, so it is necessary to detect that error, okay? It is necessary to detect that error, so that's why this error detecting code is used, okay? So to detect any error in a binary information, here in a error detecting code, one additional bit is transmitted, okay? One additional bit is transmitted along with binary message for error detection purpose, which is known as parity bits, okay? Which is known as parity bits. For error detection purpose, one additional extra bit is transmitted along with the binary message for error detection purpose. This parity bit is known as an extra bit, okay? This parity bit is an extra bit which makes total message, okay? Which makes message including with parity in a which total number of ones, either odd or either even, okay? Parity bit is an extra bit which makes a total number of ones in a message including with parity bits, either even or odd, for error detection purpose, okay? So to make total number of ones either even or odd, here we have a one extra bit which is parity bit, okay? So this is how information is transmitted from this transmitter to receiver. Here we have a binary message, and with binary message this one additional bit is transmitted for error detection purpose, okay? So here we have a one parity bit and here we have a binary message, okay? So this information is transmitted from one place to other place, and after this receiving, it may possible that we detect an error, okay, with the use of this parity bit, okay? This parity bit makes total number of ones either even or odd. So if this parity bit makes total number of ones odd, so it is known as odd parity, and if it makes total number of ones even, so it is known as even parity, okay? So here we have a either odd parity or we have a even parity. So if we send information either with even parity or with odd parity, and we transmit the message and receiver receives that message with the correct parity, that means if we send 3 ones and if receiver receive 3 ones, that means odd number of ones, so it is detected that there is a no error. But if we send 3 ones and receiver receives information with 4 ones, that means our bits got altered. Okay, so 4 ones, that means even parity. So if receiver receives even parity but transmitter transmit the message with odd parity, so if there is a mismatch occurred between this parity, that means error occurred. Okay, so here we can detect error if receiver receives the message with different priorities. Okay, so whenever there is a mismatch or says transmitter parity and receiver parity is not matched, that means we have a error in the message. Okay, so error is detected whenever this receiver receives the message with different parities. Okay, it is possible to detect odd number of parities, that means if we have a single bit error, or we have a 3-bit change, or we have a 5-bit change, so we can detect error using this concept of error detecting code. Okay, so if we add 1 bit extra, which is our parity bit, if a parity is transmitted along with the informations, and if there is a single bit error occurred, so it is quite easy to identify that there is an error occurred. Okay, so if we have a odd number of error, that means we have a single bit error or 3-bit change or 5-bit change, so using this error detecting code, error is detected. Okay, but if we have a even number of errors, okay, if we have a even number of errors, then there is a no mismatch of parities at a receiver side, so it is difficult to identify that there is an error occurred or not when we have a even number of errors. Okay, so for this error detection, if even number of error occurred, then there is no way to identify that any error occurred, because if we send number of ones, 3 number of ones, okay, that means odd parity, and at a receiver side if we got 1 ones, okay, that means as odd parity, so this transmitter sends odd parity, receiver receives the odd parity, but here we have in a transmitter we have a 3 1, but here in a receiver we have only 1 1. Okay, so whenever we have a changes of 2 bits, so this receiver cannot identify that there is an error occurred. Okay, so this is the disadvantage of this error detecting code, that it can identify only single bit error easily or says odd number of errors, but it cannot identify even number of errors. Okay, so this is error detection code. Next we have a error correction code. Error correction code or says error correcting code is a code which identify the error and correct the error. Okay, this error correcting code is a code which correct the codes which detect the error and which correct the errors. Okay, this error correcting code has a key feature that this key applications or says key principle for this error correcting code is that it is necessary to identify, it is necessary to detect an error, exact position of that error and that error next digit. Okay, it is necessary to identify that error is occurred and at which location error is occurred. So it is necessary to identify and locate error, so such that we can correct that error by just complementing them. Okay, because in a binary our message got altered, so there is only 2 chances that messages got altered from 0 to 1 or 1 to 0. So if we identify that at this locations error is occurred, so we have to just simply complement that bit, so we have our correct informations. So one type of error correcting code is Hamming code. Okay, one type of error correcting code is a Hamming code. This Hamming code is basically error correcting code in which exact locations and exact erroneous digit is identified and then it is complemented for the correct message. Okay, so here we have a error correcting code, that is a Hamming code. Okay, in a Hamming code some redundant bits are added. Okay, in a Hamming code some redundant bits are added for error correction purpose using this redundant bit at a specific locations. Okay, this extra bit or says this redundant bits are inserted at a specific locations, and using this code format can identify at which locations this error occurred. Okay, once informations are coded in a Hamming code, then it is transmitted to receiver, and at a receiver side this recalculations are performed. Okay, at a receiver side recalculations are performed of this Hamming code format informations, and after recalculations receiver can identify if any error occurred, and if any error occurred, so receiver can calculate exact locations of that erroneous digit, and then receiver can complement that digit, so we have our actual result. So how this Hamming code works, so let's discuss. To convert any binary message into Hamming code format, okay, source or says transmitter encode the message into Hamming code format. So how the information is coded into Hamming code format? So here we have a procedure. First we have to identify how amount of redundant bits required. Okay, so total number of this parity bits, redundant bit, that means parity bits. So first calculate total number of parity bits required. So how we can calculate that? So here we have a equation, that is 2 raised to p greater than or equal to d plus p plus 1. Okay, here we have a equation that using this equation calculate total number of required parity bit, total number of required extra bit. Okay, so 2 raised to p greater than or equal to d plus p plus 1, where d is equals to number of bits in a message, p is equals to number of required extra bits, parity bits, and 1. Okay, so here using this equations we can calculate values for p which satisfy this equation. Then after deciding this amount of or this bits are required, then we have to identify that at which locations we insert. Okay, so next identify the location of parity bits. Okay, so for the locations of parity bits are basically inserted at a power of 2. Okay, so we can add parity bits at a power of 2. That means we have a total message. In that message we have to add extra bits. So at a power of 2 we can add at a position which has power of 2. At that position we have to add parity bit. That means at a 2 raised to 0, 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 2, 2 raised to 3, 2 raised to 4, and so on. At that position we can add parity bits. That means 2 raised to 0, 1. So at a 1, 2, 4th positions, then 8th positions or 16th position we can add parity bits. Okay, so this is how we can decide position of parity bits. Parity bits are inserted at a position of power of 2. Okay, so at either first, 2, 4th position, 8th position we can enter parity bits. Then after entering or after inserting parity bits we have to find out the values. So next find out the values of parity bits. Okay, calculate values of parity bits. So how we can calculate the values of parity bits? So if we have a pi parity bit, that means pi parity bit, so it is necessary to check the position which contains 1 at the ith position. Okay, which contains 1 at the ith position. So for p1 we have to check the locations of 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay, for p1 we have to check the locations 1, 3, 5, 7. Then for p2 we have to check 2, 3, then 6, 7 and so on. And then for P4 we have to check locations 4, 5, 6, 7, then next and so on. Okay, so how we can write this? So for P1 we have to just skip 1, write 1. Okay, so for P1 skip 0, 1, skip 2, 3, skip 4, skip write 5. Okay, so that's why here for P1 we have a 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and so on. For P2 skip 2, write 2. So 0, 1 skip, 2, 3 write, then 4, 5 skip, 6, 7 write. Okay, and for P4 remember here we have a P4 because we entered parity bit at the location of a 2 raised to 0, 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 2. That's why here we have a P1, P2, P4, P8, P16 and so on. Okay, so for P4 skip 4, write 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3 are skipped, and then check 4, 5, 6, 7 because this location contains 1. Okay, at these locations we have a 1, so that's why we consider these locations. Okay, so it is necessary for Hamming code that these locations have even parity. Okay, so for P1 this 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 have even parity, then for P2 this 2, 3, 6, 7 and so on must have even parity, then for P4 4, 5, 6, 7 must have even parity. Okay, so we have to calculate the values of parity bit which satisfy this even parity criteria. Okay, we have to check for the values which cause even parity. Okay, so using this concept we can calculate the values of parity. Okay, let's discuss this procedure with example. Here we have one example that once the parity bit is inserted, so it is transmitted to the receiver. Okay, it is transmitted to the receiver, so our information is coded into Hamming code format. So how our information is coded into Hamming code format, or how information is encoded for error correcting purpose? Okay, so here let's discuss this with example. Here we have one example that encode the message 0011 in a Hamming code format. Okay, we have a 4-bit message, we have to encode that message into Hamming code format. So how we can encode that? So step number 1, calculate this total number of parity bits. Okay, calculate the total number of parity bits using this equation 2 raised to p greater than or equal to d plus p plus 1. Okay, here we have an equation that is 2 raised to p greater than or equal to d plus p plus 1. Now here we have a d is equals to 4. Okay, so here if we simplify, so here we have an equation that is 2 raised to p greater than or equal to 5 plus 1. Okay, so here we have this kind of inequality. So using trial and error method we can calculate values of p. Okay, using trial and error method we can calculate exact value of p. If we put p is equals to 1, so 2 raised to 1 is equals to 4 plus 1 5. So 2 greater than or equal to 5. So equation in this inequality is not satisfied. So p is equals to 1 is not satisfied. Then try for p is equals to 2. Okay, so if p is equals to 2, so we have a 2 raised to 2 greater than or equal to 5 of 5 plus 2. So 2 raised to 2. So 2 greater than or equal to 7. So also this inequality is not satisfied. Then we have a p is equals to 3. So for p is equals to 3, 2 raised to 3 greater than or equals to 5 plus 3. So 8 greater than or equal to 8. So this is satisfied. Okay, because 8 is equal to 8, right? So for p is equals to 3, this inequality is satisfied. So here we have to add total 3 parity bit, total 3 extra bits. So here we have a 4 bit of informations, and in a 4 bit of information we have to add additional 3 bits. Okay, we have to add additional 3 bits for then we can transmit that message so that this receiver can identify if any error occurred. Okay, so at which location these bits are inserted? So obviously at a location of 1, 2, 4 at a power of 2. Okay, so at a first, second and a fourth position we can enter parity bits. So P1, P2, P4 at the remaining locations we can add our data. Okay, so first P1, P2, then our informations bit, first bit that is 0, then P4, then next information location bits. Okay, so here we have a no values of P1, P2, so we write question mark. Then we have a D1 value, that is 0. Then we have a P4, so we have a no values about that, so we have a question mark. Then next value 0, 1, 1. Okay, so we have here locations 1, 3. So here we have a position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, here we have a total 7, 4 message and 3 parity bits. Okay, so we have to calculate these values, and then if we write the values of P1, P2 and P4, so here we have a Hamming code format result. Okay, so here we have our error correcting code. So step number 3, calculate the values of parity bits. So how we can calculate the parity bits? So for P1 we have to check the position 1, 3, 5, 7 must have even parity. So at a first location we have a P1, at a third location we have a 0, at a fourth locations we have a 1, and at a P1 locations, or says at a first locations we have a P1, then at a third location we have a 0, at a fifth location we have a 0, at a seventh location we have a 1. This value is written from a table. Okay, so here we have a P1, 0, 0, 1. So how we can make even parity in this bracket? So if the value of P1 is 1, so this bracket has even parity, right? Because 1, 0, 0, 1. So 2 times 1, that means even parity. So here we have a P1 is equals to 1, because it is necessary for the Hamming code format that this P1 locations values have a even parity. That means 1, 3, 5, 7 have even parities. Okay, here we have a bits up to 7, so we have to just check up to 7. If we have a further position, so we have to write that position also. Okay, right? 7, 9, 11 and so on. For P2 we have to check position 2, 3, 5, 7. Okay, for P2 we have to check position 2, 3, 5, 7. So for this bracket it is necessary for even parity. So how we make even parity over here? So if P2 is equals to 0, then here we have a even parity. And similarly for P4, if we check for 4, 5, 6, 7, so here at a 4 we have a P4, at a 5th location, at a 6th location and 7th locations we have this values. Okay, so we have to make this bracket even parity. So how we can make that even parity? So here P4 is equals to 0. Okay, so here we have a P1 is equals to 1, P2 is equals to 0 and P4 is equals to 0. Okay, so if we write values of parity bit, so here we have our answer, which is Hamming code format. Okay, so this is how our information is coded into Hamming code format for error correction purpose. Okay, so this is how information is encoded. Now how receiver can decode this message and how it can identify if any error occurred and how it correct the error. So let's check the procedure by the receiver, how the informations, or says how the data are corrected. Okay, so again these are the procedure which is followed by the receiver for error corrections or to locate the erroneous digit. Okay, so step number 1, first we have to calculate what amount of parity bits are included and what amount of message are there. Okay, so here we have to check that with the help of this equation 2 raised to p greater than or equals to d plus p plus 1. Okay, here at a receiver side we have a d plus p, that means as a transmit data with parity. So at a receiver side we have a d plus p values. Okay, and we have to check this inequality, so we have a values of parity bits. Okay, then we have to check at which locations parity bits are included. So we know that at a power of 2 position parity bits are included, that means at a first, second, fourth, at 8 locations our parity bits are included. Then we have to check that if any error occurred or not. Okay, we have to check the values of parity bits. So how we can check? So we know that for P1 it is necessary that at a 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 locations it is necessary to have even parity. If there is no even parity, so we have a error. So we have a check bit, so make check bit is equals to 1 respected parity bits. If at a P1 location we have a no even parity, so C1 is equals to 1 because we have a error. Okay, this C is a check bit. Whenever there is error occurred, this check bit is equals to 1. If there is no error, then this check bit is equals to 0. Okay, and at the end we make a decimal equivalent of any any erroneous digits, okay, we make a decimal equivalent from this check bit, okay, and then we can complement that digit so that we have correct message. So how we can do that? So let's discuss with example. Here we have an example that transmitted informations. Here we have a transmitted information that transmitter transmit the informations, okay. So here we have a transmitted information that is 10000011 and receiver received the message which is 10001111. So here we know that this fifth digit is complemented over here whenever it transmitted through media, okay. So we know that receiver has a digit which is fifth digit is erroneous, okay, but how receiver can identify that? So let's discuss this with example. So here first identify the number of parity bits through this. So here we have a d plus p is equals to 7, okay. So if we put d plus p is equals to 7, so 7 plus 1 8. So here we have an inequality that is 2 raised to p greater than or equals to 8. So which value of p satisfy this inequality? So p is equals to 3. So we know that here 3 parity bits and 4 bits are our information bit, okay. So 2 raised to p is equals to 8. So calculate this value of p by trial and error method. So which value of p satisfy this inequality? So p is equals to 3. We have a p is equals to 3, then this inequality is satisfied, okay. So we know that we have a 3 parity bits and remaining bits are our information bit, okay. So next calculate at which locations our parity bits are, at which locations we have our data bits, okay. So here we make a table and here we have a values which is received, okay. Remember here we write the values which are received by the receiver because receiver receive the information and perform recalculations on the received message, okay. Here we have a transmitted message for our reference only, okay. So here we have this received message, so we write the received message that is 10001111, okay. So here we have a p1 p2 then our information, p4 then our informations, okay. So here we have to check that at which location error is occurred. So for that we have to check the bits. So here we have to check the parity bits. So for P1 we have to check 1357 location, okay. For P1 135, so 7 location must have even parity, okay. This 1357 must have even parity. So here we have a 1011. So here there is a no even parity because total number of ones are 3, okay. Here we have a total number of ones are 3, that means no even parity. So here we have an error, so we make this check bit regarding this P1 is C1 is equals to 1 because here we have an error, so that's why this check bit C1 is equals to 1. Then for P2 we have to check 2, 3, 6, 7 locations. So at this value we have a 0, 0, 1, 1. So here we have a 2 times 1, that means even parity. So this check bit regarding C2 is equals to 0 because there is a no error occurred. Now at next location for P4, we have this 0, 1, 1, 1. So here we have a total number of ones that is 3, okay. That means odd parity. So here also we have a error, okay. So this C4, this check bit regarding P4 is C4. So C4 is equals to 1 because at this location we have a error, okay. So at a C1 location we have a error, at a C2 we have a 0 and at a C4 we have a error. So this is how we can find out the check bit, and we can write a check bit in a decimal equivalent to identify the location of erroneous digit, okay. So here we make a decimal equivalent of erroneous digit by considering this check bit C. C is written like C4, C2, C1, okay. 4 to 1, okay. We can write 4 to 1. So this is how we can write this check bit C, and we can calculate decimal equivalent of C. So C is equals to C4, C2, C1, which is equivalent to 101, okay. Here we calculate 101. Now 101, that means 5, right? 4 plus 1 5. So 1015. So decimal equivalent 5. 5, that means at a fifth location we have a error. At a fifth location we have a error. So here we have a received message, and this fifth location digit is complemented over here, so we have our correct message. So this correct message is basically a message which is transmitted by a transmitter. Okay, so this is how this receiver can perform recalculation and identify the erroneous digit locations, and then this digits is complemented, so we have our correct format. So this is how error correcting code works. Thank you.